Hello, welcome to the channel. So, bit of a strange one today. I've ended up with a impromptu day off because our school is closed due to the weather. Not necessarily the school itself, but lots of the teachers couldn't get in. So I got there, and when I got there, told me it was closed. So I've come home again. So, I think yesterday or the day before when I was on the channel, I was talking about the amount of stuff I'd got, and I kind of went through all the different armies and boxes and all that kind of thing. And one thing that I kept finding was I kept finding Wars of the Roses boxes that I didn't know I had. So this in front of you is all of the boxes of my Wars of the Roses collection. Now I literally have some idea about what is in here, but I thought, well, I've got a spare few hours that I didn't expect to have, so I will probably dig all this out now, and I'm going to lay this all out on the dining table. I'm going to pull the leaves out and put it all out. My wife's at work, so I've got lots of opportunities to do that. Okay, and then pack it all away before she comes in at about 3:30. And yeah, so I'm going to get all the armies out. I'm going to see what I've got. I know I've got quite a few because a few years ago at CrackCon I did a lot of painting up for the Battle of Barnet. We did that at CrackCon. Martin was running that, and then year before last, I think it was 2023, did the Battle of Tewkesbury. Don was doing that. That was the year when it was really flooded in Derby. It was hard to get there, and so I painted up a few some Yorkists, in fact, for that one. And so I know I've got a few different lords, but it's going to be interesting just to get it all out and see exactly what I've got, and see it all out on display. I'm pretty sure I've got probably enough for at least 2 sides in one battle, if not 2 or 3 different battles at the moment. But yeah, reading the Warlord supplement really kind of inspired me again, and I found a couple of old well, one spare box of Scourers that I've got, so I've assembled those. So here we go again. Wars of the Roses, hashtag I blame Martin. Right, so welcome back everybody. So I've got it all laid out in front of me, and took a little bit of time. Wasn't too bad. I thought I'd be here for a while, but yeah. So this is my entire collection of Wars of the Roses. I'm pretty sure I didn't leave any of the boxes in the other room, at least nothing significant anyway. So what have we got? I'm not 100% sure myself. I know I've remodeled some of them and I've repainted some of them so that they look to add them to another army, and so just take you through what I've got then. So haven't got much York, got a fair few Lancastrians, but this is where I started really. I started with the Percys, Henry Percy and the Duke of Northumberland, and this was where I started a few years ago when I actually started to paint Wars of the Roses. Okay, so I've got Northumberland here, quite a nice mix of troops for Northumberland. I've got plenty of I've got Scourers at the front, light horse. I've got some heavy horse as well, seem to have plenty of heavy horse, and also well, no, not also, but I'll go into those in a moment. So yeah, so Northumberland to begin with. So for the Lancastrians, Henry Percy of Northumberland. Now carrying on at the front, I'm not really kind of going through this in any kind of order. I'm just kind of going to move from right to left across the table. Some Burgundians, so some Burgundian handgunners, Burgundian pike, and some Burgundian mounted crossbowmen. Now I just really wanted to do a force a while ago where I used the crossbows on the mounted scourers, on the hobblers from Perry's. Never really had a chance to use the crossbows in the set, and I really wanted to do some, so I used them for Burgundians. So Burgundians, if my history is correct, came and fought on the side of the Yorkists against the Lancastrians. and so we could use those in a Yorkist army alongside Richard. I've got Richard, and anything else I decide to paint. So one thing about Burgundians, are very colourful, aren't they? And their flags are probably a lot more colourful than the English flags. So Burgundians. At the front, a couple of cannon. I've only got 2 cannon. I do love my cannons, so probably want to get a few more of those. And I think I left them fairly neutral. Oh, I think I did him black and red, so he's probably Northumberland. But I wanted to keep the cannons neutral so I could add them to pretty much any army that I had. Then moving back, got a few. I could probably add these to something. These are Swiss. The yellow and black. I think it is. Oh, where is it? Somewhere from. So Swiss handgunners or German handgunners. You could have German or Swiss handgunners. Okay, and then some generic crossbowmen. And then some more Swiss crossbowmen there. And then I think the blue and the red are another Swiss canton. I'll have to kind of look that up for you as well. Or they could be used for Richard, I suppose. And so I think it's the blue and the red are the wrong way around. But yeah, so I was doing Swiss and Germans. Basically mercenaries. So these are kind of all my mercenaries. And then another Swiss crossbow force at the front, at the back there. So a lot of kind of handgunners and crossbowmen to use as mercenaries. Okay. So moving backwards. Now I found this is Somerset. So the Beauforts. So what I found with the Somerset I seem to have a lot of Somerset. I don't know quite why I've got so much. I remember I did Somerset to go alongside Northumberland because I was doing Lancastrians. And then when we played Tewkesbury, I think I did another one of the Somerset family. So I can't remember which one it is. So I'm really sorry that I can't remember half these lords and these names, but I haven't played for a long time, so I need to kind of get back into it, write it all down at some point. But the guy at the back is Somerset, the first one, who was the favourite of Margaret of Anjou and was deposed during the first campaigns of the Wars of the Roses. Obviously he was killed later on. I think it was St Albans, I may be wrong. But then later at Tewkesbury, a different Somerset took over. So I did that guy as a separate stand for the other Somerset. So quite a few Somerset. I've got some heavy horse there for Somerset. As you all know, I suppose, you don't want too much heavy horse for Wars of the Roses because they didn't tend to use huge cavalry charges, etc. I haven't got any light horse at all for Somerset, so I should probably add some if I want to continue with Somerset. So just basically all the way through, we've got a mixture of bill and bow. Some stands of just bow. A lot of the stands are these single, smaller stands, which are kind of just a flag with a couple of men on it. And I kind of try to use those, scatter them throughout. There's another one there. I just put them in between maybe some bill and some bow, or bill and bow, sometimes as they're mixed, as you can see on this stand here. Just kind of break up the battlefield a little bit as kind of, what do they used to call them? Kurans or something like that, just as markers for the troops to show who they are loyal to. Okay, so a fair bit of stuff for Somerset there. Okay, so I probably would only add maybe light cavalry if I was adding to my Somerset forces. Okay, behind Somerset we've got Oxford with his distinctive bright red and yellow. So, and he's there, so the Earl of Oxford. So I think I used him for Barnet. It was a really good battle, that was excellent at crack on, where Oxford was pushing forward on the right flank. I think I've got some pictures somewhere of that, but it turned out to be a really good kind of contest on the right flank between Oxford. I think it was Oxford versus, oh, who was it? Exeter perhaps. No, it couldn't have been Exeter, could it? But I will look that up for you. So Oxford, I've got some heavy horse for Oxford. I've got quite a nice combination of troops for Oxford because I was taking one of the battles in the at Barnet, and I was taking the right hand battle for the Lancastrians, so I needed a kind of reasonable mix. Yeah. Next to Oxford, we've got Exeter himself, Henry Holland. There he is. All of my command stands are dismounted because generally that's how the commanders fought, but I could probably create some mounted command stands later perhaps. So Henry Holland, Exeter. So I've got some, again I've got some heavy cavalry there, okay. I've also got some crossbowmen as well, and I'm not sure if these crossbowmen are another Swiss canton, but they do seem to have the colours of Exeter, so I'll put them with him. So moving across again, so going past Oxford, and then on the right hand side we've got a couple of dastardly Yorkists. So this is Norfolk. I just remembered his name. I was going to say Suffolk there. This is Norfolk. So the Duke of Norfolk, and nice mixture here as well. So I used Norfolk when we fought Tewkesbury. Norfolk. So Norfolk very similar to Oxford in the colours, but just the banners are slightly different. I think I might have mixed a banner in there. I think I've at the back there. The over on this side, I think I've got a. Yeah, there we go. That unit there is actually Norfolk, with the white boar. Okay, the blue boar is Oxford. The white boar on red is Norfolk. I know that at least. Okay, and then a couple more command stands. I think that this is Norfolk, but this guy is. I'm pretty sure this is Devon. I think I created the Earl of Devon again for Tewkesbury, so I think I've only got one command stand for Devon, so I don't think I commanded much of his forces at Tewkesbury. So Norfolk and Devon, and then everybody's favourite, or not, depending on your point of view, the man himself. Oh, I just found another Devon base here. Yeah. So there we go, I'll put that at the back. Everybody's favourite, Richard, Duke of Gloucester. And again, I was Richard at Tewkesbury, so I was Richard and Norfolk, and I think I'm a little bit of Devon for some reason. I don't know why I've got Devon, and I've got quite a mixture for him, but mainly, as I said, mainly infantry, so bill and bow pretty much throughout, and some men at arms at the back. Obviously, with the new changes with the Warlord supplement, you can upgrade bill and bow and add men at arms, which I'm quite happy with, because all I do with these guys is I would take a unit of bill and bow, as we've got here, and I would just add perhaps a stand of men at arms, so it becomes upgraded, which I think is quite a nice idea. I like that idea of, rather than having any units of men at arms, you can buff up a unit of billmen or a unit of bill and bow by adding men at arms to that unit, and they kind of lead the unit then, don't they, and kind of give it more strength. And I quite like that idea actually, and so I think that will work. Okay, so Richard has no cavalry. I'm painting up about 12 hobblers or scourers at the minute, light cavalry, and I'm probably going to add them to Richard. Okay, but as I say, I don't want to add too much in terms of heavy cavalry, because it wasn't really much of a thing. Okay, so Yorkists on the left, Somerset in the centre, Oxford at the back there, a few mercenaries, Swiss and German at the front. A lot of missile, a lot of crossbowmen. And then at the back there we've got Exeter, and over on the right hand side Northumberland. And then the front, the Burgundians. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've got kind of all displayed out. I think I did do this a while ago, but I didn't have anywhere near as much as I've got now. So you can imagine if this could be, I mean, I know it's a mixture of Lancaster and York, but this could be a single army fielded, couldn't it? With your left, your centre and your right battles. So, you know, if you were doing a huge army, a huge battle, I would expect to see this many on the table. Probably not on a single side, probably on, you know, on two sides. So what should I do then to add to this? I did say this was going to be something I would do this year, was to add a bit more to my Wars of the Roses. I think I need more Yorkist, don't I? I'm going to add a bit more to Richard. Probably add a little bit more to Norfolk maybe, but what I'm going to do is kind of try and make it a little bit more historical, because at the minute it's all over the place historically. I mean, you know, Henry Percy, 3rd Earl of Northumberland, I think 3rd, he, you know, died pretty early on. Richard was lasting till the end and was commanding later on. Somerset died pretty early on. You know, the Beauforts kind of were a thing throughout. But if you don't worry too much about, you know, dates and times, then these people can fight each other at any point, which is great, you know. But if you are trying to do a particular battle in a particular campaign, you probably need to take out some of these forces. So I probably need to add some more Yorkists. I've resisted adding Edward, but I'm probably going to have to add Edward, aren't I, at some point. Add a bit more to Richard, add Edward, add Warwick maybe. I've got this, I don't know, I've got a bit of an aversion to the famous people, you know, the very famous, which is why it took me so long to do Richard. So, you know, everybody does Warwick, everybody does Edward, yeah, so, but I will end up doing them because I want a fairly balanced force of Lancaster versus York. Right guys, thanks for watching. If you've been interested by this and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe. It's only the 6th of January, so I'm going to wish you a Happy New Year again. And please keep up with me and keep watching the channel. And I'll see some of you soon perhaps. And have a really good day. Bye.